What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of MMA Breakdowns and Bets. This week, we're going over David Onama versus Steve Garcia. We'll also be discussing why fatherless homes increase punching power. Tune in. Thanks so much.
All right, we are back, and we are talking the world's worst UFC card.
I thought you were going to talk about the world's worst censorship laws from YouTube.
Yeah, the censorship laws are pretty bad.
You just told me this right now. I had no idea about this rule. If you cuss in the first 30 seconds, it's no monetization.
Yeah.
How many videos have we gotten pulled off?
A couple.
A couple.
No, we legit have. I'm not kidding. So, of course, you click monetize, and then it'll add ads and stuff. And initially, it's like fine, but then I'll go back later, and it'll have like a
big X through
the money side, and says you violating YouTube's policy.
That's why you can't let me do the intros anymore, because when I do the intros, I had a few in mind, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Well, your intros themselves are just going to get us canceled. 100% just canceled.
I have this vision. I want to
wait. Hold on. Speaking of vision, is this pillow in the frame? It's really bothering me that it's right in front of us.
It is in the frame.
Yeah, I need to move that. Like,
where are you going to move it to?
I don't know. Just there.
That was my.
Is it in the frame now?
Pillow last time.
No.
Okay,
we're good.
All right, here, and then we'll leave an Xbox controller. The video, that pillow would drive me nuts.
To be honest, I'm not even sure if it would have shown. It's in the frame now, but when we make it widescreen, it may have been cut out. The controller may be cut out by the time we add the bars. I don't know.
What's going on? What's going on with you today?
My OCD will go through the roof. All right.
Well, check out this move.
All right.
Oof.
Oh, no, dude, that's gonna mess with both of us. Coach, put it back, Coach.
Yeah, checkmate.
All right, here. I gotta just put it out of the sight. Oh my gosh, that'll be the end of me.
Well, I went shopping yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
are you gonna talk about food or clothes?
No, neither one. I went outdoor shopping. I needed like a new like outdoor furniture. It's like outdoor season again in Arizona.
You just get that online, right? Like you don't go.
Yeah, but like I was just like already out. I was like, all right, let's do something.
That freaks me out as well. That freaks me out worse than the controller.
Well, and here's exactly why. Here's the case in point of why I should have just done what you said. I can't shop without an empty bladder. I have to have an empty bladder, coffee in hand. That's just like how I like to shop, right? And that's how you do it. And so I pull up to like not home goods, living spaces, like the big superstore. I pull up. I get my cart. I start collecting.
Going in there is like going into an IKEA. You need to be ready for that.
You got to be ready.
That's not for the faint of heart.
That's I was feeling it.
I'm going to walk in and then I'm going to leave.
I was feeling it. I was like, no, I'm the man today. No one can tell me no. Home goods is happening. Okay. So I acquire a few things. I get some pillows for the outside. I'm looking for a big rug now. And I'm like, all right, before I manhandle this rug, I need to use the restroom. So I go to the restroom. Now, 10 feet out of the restroom, I can smell it. I know what's coming. And I just thought to myself, it can't be as bad as I think that it is. And it certainly was. I walk into the stall. There it was. Plain sight. First of all, what kind of maniac do you have to be to do that at a Home Goods?
Probably a homeless person. I won't let homeless people. I've actually yelled at the gas station employees. I'm like, stop letting the homeless people use the bathroom.
You know how I know it wasn't a homeless person, though?
How?
I wanted to be upset. Everything in me was like, no, this is going to ruin my whole Sunday. Like, I'm vibing. This is a good Sunday. I smelled it. I had to walk in there. It was a war zone in there. I opened the stall, and it's front and center. I have never seen such a large accumulation. I've never seen volume like that in my whole life. And I told someone this story, and they just said, what would be the first question you asked me?
I don't know. I don't have a question.
Did you take a picture?
Oh.
Everybody wants to know what it looked like. I mean, I'm talking. No, and then I just flushed it. I was like, that was amazing. I'm honored to have seen that. It was an amazing experience. I couldn't even be mad. And then I bought my pillows, and all was good.
I didn't think we would start the podcast talking about this.
It won't get us off the YouTube monetization.
Yeah. All right. So Gabe, how's your day going? Any good smells?
No, dude, that sounds like a nightmare for me, dude. I'm a huge smells guy. If I walked in, dude, and I was 10 feet away, you said you were 10 feet away.
I could smell. Yeah, it was a
dude.
warm-up.
I would have turned around, man. I would not have been able to. I'm like, no, dude, I'm good. I will hold it.
I actually would have pissed myself. I let it go in public, like till it's like emergency, like I have to go.
we were at Freak Show, the wrestling tournament, just a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, and the restrooms were upstairs. Okay, and so it was like this big. It was at Las Vegas Convention Center, and they had like multiple rooms and stuff. But in the middle,
That's a big venue too. You have to like travel.
Yeah, but it was like the part attached to the hotel, the Westgate Hotel. So it wasn't like the full convention center. It was like the little part, but it was still big. It was, for a wrestling tournament. And in the hallway between the different rooms was stairs that went up. And literally before, it was a good amount of stairs. It wasn't like 4 stairs. It was like 20 stairs to get to the top or whatever it was. When you would walk up stair number 1, you could smell the bathrooms from downstairs. That's how bad it was. And just the further you got up, you could just smell it the whole time, which that's to be expected when you have 4,500 wrestlers.
Wrestlers specifically.
Exactly.
It's funny if I had to rank any other sport, I would probably put wrestlers as the most disgusting.
Absolutely.
And the thing was, they're not even accidentally disgusting. Is like, you probably remember when you wrestle, you and your buddies are like, how can we destroy this high school, but like legally?
Yeah.
Legally.
It's gross.
Nasty.
Ugh. These last week of fights were good and then disappointing. We saw the eye poke. The double Heat 3 Stooge eye poked him.
Yeah.
He didn't know the defense. Like, how do you, that's 1-on-1. But then,
was that Aspinall's fault?
Like, it kind of was. Like, wah, wah, wah. But then Dana White's giving him crap for not continuing. It's like, dude, we just had a guy this weekend.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that because we had Kev.
Yeah, we had a guy this weekend, Kevin Natividad, fought an LFA. And at the end of the first round, competitive first round, both guys had their moment. End of the first round, the guy throws a head kick and just the toe grazes Kevin's eye. And we could see it in the corner. Like, it was maybe a minute left. And I actually looked over to the other corner and I was like, hey, I said, that just got him right in the eyeball. And then after the round, he's like, everything's blurry. I can't really see. And we're like, you just have to like, yeah, we know. We saw it. But the options are redirect and try to get in a better state of mind or quit. Like, we're either out or let's go. And so you can't.
And I saw in that fight, he got hyped up, ready to fight. And I think you guys made him take another second because he wasn't.
Well, that was actually because of the nut shot. The guy hit him with the hardest nut shot. That thing cracked like a baseball, like a home run baseball.
Oh,
bam!
His eye was so bad that I thought that it was stopped because of the eye. I forgot it was because of the nut shot.
Yeah,
and it sounded crazy.
Oh, dude, you could hear the cup. The shin hit the cup.
And then Kevin was actually after that was really amped up, and we're like, dude, chill, relax, because
I saw it. It looked like he had an adrenaline like boom spike,
and that's what I was trying to avoid.
So he saw you talk to him, and his shoulders just went.
Yeah, I said, dude, relax.
He was yelling at his opponent too.
He's a motherfucker, going nuts. And
Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So anyway, so at the end of the
I was surprised to see it.
That's not his character.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So end of the first round, Kevin comes back. He's blurry. We're like, hey, we got to go. We got to do this. In between second and third round, he's like, I can't see at all. It's black. Like, he just black out, no sight at all. And so you get something like that. And that wasn't even, the fight wasn't even stopped. It was, it was illegal. Just an unfortunate thing. You get a toe in the eyeball and you can't say, hey, hold on, time out. Because it was legal. And then, you see the Aspinall thing. Both fingers were just in his eyes.
Eye pokes are legitimately probably the most painful part of the sport.
Well, and then we had a guy this weekend, but then we also have a guy, Kyle Estrada, who literally does not have vision in his eye. It's 100% blind because he got eye poked in practice, and now he's blind. So
doesn't he have a
lens?
Yeah.
He has when he doesn't have the lens in, it's just white. He looks like a White Walker from the north.
It's scary looking.
So he puts a lens in so they can't tell. And so anyway, eye pokes are brutal.
Michael Bisping, same thing as Michael Bisping.
We saw that a couple weeks ago as well. Just some fights getting stopped.
I don't know if you can feel this. It feels like this. So one, you announced last week your retirement. So congratulations again. That's amazing. And everyone in the comments was super, super cool. And
you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
It's awesome to see how much support you really have. It feels like
more support from the comments than real life.
I still got to see you every week. I can't let your ego get way up here. We got to keep you rounded. But it feels weird because I've grown up with you and I'm kind of on the tail end of things. Kevin, I've trained with and you've trained with for so long. Kyle for so long. And even in the UFC, you're starting to see some of these older guys, and they're the Robert Whitakers of the world.
Yeah.
It feels to me that this sport is actually becoming for the first time a professional sport where it's the guys who are skilled and phenomenal athletes that are actually kind of pushing the old people out who are like me, who are just like technical.
Well, but we've had that wave happen numerous times. And the Chuck Liddells and the Randys got pushed out. It was the new wave. And then now we're just seeing, I don't think it's anything crazy. I think the next wave will be even better and sharper than the ones coming up. And it's just little by little. But yeah, we're seeing a big trend in the names. And again, this happened when Conor left. They didn't really have any big. So we had Ronda Rousey, right? Remember, she was the female star. And then she left, and it was like, man, her and Conor leave, and then we don't have big stars. And so you got to build them up. And then Pajeda was built. And right now, I don't know that we have these mega stars.
It's kind of Ilya and Hamzat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But those two have done a great job of building that star brand and star power. But yeah, we're definitely getting better athletes. And we're starting to get now is a lot of the kids that would have gone to football or basketball early in their career are choosing jiu-jitsu and MMA and kickboxing. And so instead of going, hey, I played in college or I couldn't make it in college at basketball or football, and getting in it late, they're like, no, I started this when I was in 8th grade instead of trying to play basketball or football. So
I chose to do this. I wasn't put in this for self-defense. Yeah. I chose this on purpose.
Yeah. So let's get into this fight card, get this over with.
That's a crazy way to put it.
No, I think I said it, but I think this whole fight card is just to thin the roster. This isn't.
That's kind of what I was hinting at, not only like on our personal side of things, but this fight card and other ones too.
Yeah, I mean, this whole fight card is like, who can we get rid of? There's a couple on the top side. I mean, the main event, of course, those guys are both doing really well. Onama and Steve Garcia. That's a winner is going to get the push to take a step further. Waldo and Ante Delija, whatever the hell that name is. That's the one where it's like
they're fast tracking him.
Yeah, they're like, Waldo, you gotta figure this out, or we're gonna fast track Ante because
I saw him on Friday. I can't wait to start some rumors about Waldo.
Oh, can't wait. And then Jeremiah and Themba, I think both of those could be like, I mean, the main card is going to get a push, but man, the undercard is really who can we get rid of?
Well, let's get rid of them. Let's knock them down.
Let's do it.
And we're going full card again, huh?
We're going full card.
You haven't been here in a minute, man.
Yeah. Enzo wouldn't have.
I missed 1 week, dude. I missed last week, and that was because you guys rescheduled.
Enzo's going to send you an invoice.
All right, fight number 1 on the prelims. We have Talita Alencar at -240 versus Ariane Carnelossi at +205.
So I'm going to go on this one because I did this last week, and everyone said I was an idiot.
Okay, yeah, I was watching. So I woke up for those fights, and I live bet Mizuki and Raposo. But on the podcast, I go, "Fucking mortgage your house is the easiest thing alive. It's so easy." And here we go.
This is the same thing. Carnelossi's not real, and she's like just bad. And Talita is good at jiu-jitsu. And the difference, though, is that Talita can actually like dictate where the fight goes a little bit on the takedown level, and she's not Carnelossi, and so she's going to win. That's my sage advice.
Now, Talita is a big favorite.
Okay, I don't care. I don't even look at odds with women because
I think Carnelossi is going to bust her up.
Now you're wrong.
No, I don't. No, I'm not wrong. But I will say a little bit why. Because the last fight, I know there was like a lot of stuff because the Vanessa Talita thing, and I had backstory, both of them, whatever. But Vanessa doesn't defend takedowns. And like a lot of times in that fight, every time Talita would touch the legs, she was already leaning her body backwards to either wrap the head or go to her back and play a guard. Carnelossi, first of all, she's very physical. Second of all, we know Talita, she slows down pretty considerably between rounds. I see her maybe having some success in the first round because her jiu-jitsu is legitimately very good. But I think the physical...
You can end it there because she wins by submission in the first round.
No, it's not going to happen. Carnelossi's black belt. Come on. Poha. And she's fought much better competition. She actually tries to stand up. I think 1 stand-up, 2 stand-ups. I don't know how much Talita's going to have left. Even round 2 against Vanessa, her entries were still awful. She got a takedown, but it was bad posture, leaning over. And Vanessa's not as much of a threat on the feet. I think Carnelossi is going to bully her, beat her up, come out round 2, beat her up again. I think this is a Carnelossi fight.
We'll see.
I guess we'll see. But we're opposite this time. I'm taking the dog. You're taking the favorite.
All right, next up we have Phil Rowe at +170 versus Seok Hyeon Ko at -200.
But you suck these nuts.
So I actually want you, every time Phil Rowe fights, you're like, hey, you used to train with us. I don't remember ever meeting him. How long?
I have never said that.
Yes.
I said he used to train in Arizona.
And I thought you said that he trained with us, or like he's been like, okay.
No, he was like a blue belt doing like blue belt tournaments here in Arizona for a little bit.
Okay, I thought you said he trained with us, and I'm like, I don't ever remember seeing this guy in my life. So okay,
Tino doesn't go around a lot of his kind.
Phil is
men with flat tops.
I think we've already seen this before. Similarly, in Ko's last fight against Oban Elliott, in a sense, where you've got Oban's good. Like you were on Ko to win, I was on Oban to win, and Ko was just hip tossing him and just controlling the hell out of that fight. I mean, Ko's stand up is so far back and wide, and he's reaching for that big pull
check
right hand or check hook.
Everything's a pull with him.
Everything's big.
He's Danny Barlow. He's Korean Danny Barlow.
Yeah, but Phil Rowe. The issue with Phil Rowe is I just don't know that he really knows how to fight, and I think the big thing here is Ko can take Phil Rowe down, I think, pretty much anytime he wants.
But why though? Why do you feel that way? And here's why I asked that, because I look at Ko and I look at Phil Rowe's last fight, and honestly, Phil Rowe's fought good guys. He's kind of fought good guys his whole career, and he always goes through turbulence round 1, and then he always figures it out round 2, round 3. Angelusa, that boy can wrestle. He's a very good wrestler, like power wrestler, and I think that's Phil's kryptonite, is getting blast doubled in the middle of the cage. But Ko is more of a judo guy, and Phil's 6'3". He's going to have a 5-inch height advantage, and I think the judo is going to be a lot tougher to execute on someone that's so tall.
Maybe, but I don't think he even needs it. I think he'll punch right through Phil Rowe's little pitter-pat punches as well.
Oh, pitter! He's knocking everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, well, the guys he's knocking out are not. I mean, he's knocking out Nico Price and the guys like that. So I think Ko is just too physical, and I think people underestimate really high-level judo when it comes to being swept in like the base. And Phil Rowe's thing is kind of what Oban was trying to do. He was trying to do that Lucas Lecce sweep from the bottom, half guard sweep, take the ankle, pull it. And he was able to get up a little bit with that every once in a while, but he's not going to sweep Ko, I don't believe. And I just think Ko on top of him is going to be a horse. And I just think Phil is hurtable. We haven't seen Ko look like he can't take punches or that he's not going to stay in the fire. Phil doesn't use his range well and keep people outside. Anytime people want, they can grab him and push him against the fence. And so whether Ko lands a big punch, whether Ko just closes his distance as cage pushes, or if he ends up getting a takedown right there, I think unless Ko ends up on his back, I don't see how he loses this fight.
I'm going to be actually on the other end of this completely, because that last fight, like I said, Phil's pretty susceptible to the blast doubles. And round 1 obviously was not a good look for him against Angelusa. He really struggled to stand up to his feet.
But Angelusa also death gasses when he wrestles and stuff like that.
But that's my entire point. So Angelusa, him holding him down round 1 was everything Angelusa had to hold him down. Very tense, very rigid, everything. If you look at Ko, when Ko gets people down, he's kind of like Evloev, where he kind of like lets guys build to a base and then he'll re-drag you down and break down your hips, but he does let guys start to climb. I think Phil's going to lose round 1, probably clearly, but he likes to build into fights, and eventually he gets that jab going. And I know you always talk about his range and how he doesn't use it well, which is usually correct, but he's starting to actually understand the range, and he's starting to pop a really nice jab and then follow with the hands, and he's adding volume. I think Ko's defense is going to break down later in this fight. I think it's going to be flashy and nice while he's fresh. And I think as he gets tired, I think Phil's going to put volume on him. For me, this fight is Phil or pass. I think it's a huge height advantage, just the dimensions, the styles. I like Phil in this fight.
All All right, next we have Montserrat Ruiz at plus 300 versus Ardelean at minus 400.
Wait, hold on. We got to go back to Phil Rowe really quickly. He is losing to good guys. Lost to Jake Matthews. He lost to Neil Magny, and that Magny one.
And the Matthews fight was very close.
Bad.
Very close also.
And then he lost to Gabe Green, who's tough, but not, world beater, but has good cardio. But the guys he's beating are Ryan Kosey, Jason Witt, and Nico Price. Like these guys, and Angelus. Angelus is probably the best guy he's fought. I mean, that he's beaten. So it's a big spread. He's losing to pretty good guys, not world beaters, but pretty good guys.
We just don't know where Ko is yet.
Yeah.
Because look at Ko's contender series. He fought the guy who was clearly not the level that he had presented himself, right? And then he goes into the UFC and he fights Oban, who just he does a weird style against Oban that Oban probably wasn't really expecting, the judo weird style. But Oban's susceptible to grappling in the past before too. I mean, so is Phil, but I just think it's different. The length is a big deal. You look at me like that.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, next one we have Montserrat Ruiz at plus 300 versus Ardelean at minus 400.
I didn't film this at all. I couldn't bring myself to it. I just want to ask, because these are two very mediocre women. Whoever is the prettier girl on Instagram will win.
Yikes, that's going to depend on what you're into. Do you like face tattoos and a sense of danger? Or you like fat asses and mid faces?
Oh man, it's hard to turn down a good face tattoo.
It's kind of hot. It's kind of into it.
All right, go on this.
I think Elise. I mean, Montserrat kind of has no striking, no grappling, outside of the headlock thing that she does. She's very undersized for the division. I think Elise should win this fairly easily. Elise's game at least is a lot nicer. It's just like straightforward power, aggression, physicality. I think that should be pretty easy here.
All right.
Cool. All right, next we have Ketlen Vieira at plus 140 versus Norma Dumont at minus 160.
Please tell me you did tape this one.
No, I'm not taping any of the women's fights.
Oh my God. But do you remember
it's a passion project?
Do you remember last time we watched Norma fight?
No.
We watched it live. Do you remember the experience?
Oh, isn't that her wife or whatever was in there? Her sister was. Oh my gosh, that was at the Sphere. Oh, you're bringing back PTSD.
If I learned anything from this weekend, is that Brazilian women have a baritone voice that they can chamber when they're screaming for fights.
It was gross. Yes, it was a growl.
That being said, that performance was insanely impressive.
Yeah, was that against Irina?
Yeah, where she split her whole face open. That was at the Sphere.
All right. Ketlen dies.
She's going to die.
Yeah, Norma's.
Like, I think Aldana was actually a harder matchup because she's actually got a better footwork and better hand speed, and she chases people. Ketlen's always just that standing, big ogre target, and she wins a lot of fights she does put nice combinations together, but she does wins a lot just by not doing shit wrong. Being heavy on top, pressing forward. I think Norma Dumont, man, she's got great feints. Her grappling is really good. And then we saw her kind of fix her volume issues in that last fight.
Norma looked good.
What was like 160 punches she landed? That was insane. I got Norma by a long shot.
All right, mortgage the house.
Everything you got.
Everything.
Well, and she's dating Tulio. I have a question for you.
Wait, is she? All right.
They smash in bits.
Okay.
Do you think that helps to date another fighter?
I don't know. I feel like it's almost problematic. I feel like one of them ends up being really good and the other one like goes to the back burner. You don't usually see both of them being very successful.
I would say they're weirdly kind of in the same spot right now. I mean, Tulio's a great prospect.
Tulio's good. Yeah, Tulio's good.
And she's like ranked and she's
doing well
in the mix. So do you think like technique wise that helps with either of them? Motivation wise, lifestyle wise?
I think lifestyle probably yes, because you're both living the lifestyle. You've got to eat clean and you're doing that. In terms of technique, I almost hate it because sometimes people start coaching each other and they coach
the way they would like to be coached.
Exactly. And they coach for themselves, not how their coach coaches that fighter because they understand the fighter.
We were actually talking about you the other day because you're one of the rare coaches that lets every person have their own style instead of one blanket curriculum. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. Me and Kamuela couldn't have more different styles if we possibly had to. You've coached us the same for, however long. Interesting. All right.
All right, next up we have Donte Johnson at minus 350 versus Sedriques Dumas at plus 285.
Do you want to go? Oh, I'll
Go
start
ahead.
on
Go
this.
ahead. Yeah.
Dumas is like, he's like the weirdest bad fighter who's actually good but bad there is. Like,
honestly, that makes perfect sense.
I mean, right? Like he does the worst stuff. He just gets hit. He has horrible reactions. He has horrible fight IQ. But when he actually just gets in a moment and scrambles and like you take his brain out of it, if you know, he'll wrestle up and do the right stuff and go for a takedown and do like he actually will do some stuff. He can't put it together a good moment together for more than 5 seconds. But then you actually see him and you're like, whoa, that was impressive. Like he actually does have some training and some skills.
It's weird. It almost feels like he acts on instinct and he's just athletic enough to just like execute.
And I think that's what he's doing. But then when these like quick, fast moments happen and you see him actually move, you're like, oh, that was actually good. Donte, we don't have a lot of film on him. I think he's 6-0. So there's not a lot. What there is out there though, I really like. Like I really like it. He's
a player.
Yeah, he's calm and he's just looks like a wrecking ball, but he does the right stuff. He's in and out, his hands are up. He'll probe a little bit and throws big punches. Like we haven't seen a lot of grappling exchanges with him and a lot of jiu-jitsu, him on his back. Like we haven't seen him in a bad position, but from everything I've seen of him, there's nothing that I saw where I was like, oh, that's a red flag. Oh, we should be worried about this and this and that. He does all the right stuff and looks the part and hits hard as hell. We're going to find out a lot about both of these fighters right here. Really more so Donte. He should knock Dumas out.
Way out.
Like
right?
he should. Like and
his punch resistance is pretty awful.
Yeah, it's bad. But yeah, and so then we just have to see, like, does Dumas shoot, hang on him, throw some crazy jiu-jitsu, and Donte just has no idea how to handle it, which, again, there's nothing that shows us he won't be able to handle it, but we've never seen anybody even attempt this stuff.
Knocking out James Ford the way that he did was insanely impressive because I think James Ford is a very good prospect. Like, he's awesome. He's the man. The way that Dumas reacts to punches, do you think we're watching like a live like PTSD, like trauma?
Oh yeah,
trauma reaction.
He has trauma. That's why he's in the system.
It's like his childhood every time he gets
every single time.
Dude. Dad, go on.
Yeah, I think Donte wins that. I think he wins it easily. It's most likely a KO, TKO type of situation.
Has to be. There's nothing more to say to that.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Timmy Cuamba at minus 137 versus Chang Ho Lee at plus 117.
All right. Yeah, I'll kick this one off. So this was actually the Korean that I had been waiting for. It wasn't the dude from a few weeks ago that was like kissing Santos before he got finished and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was this one.
But it really is hard to discern between all of them.
Even the two on this card, him and Ko, I was like,
I don't know. Yeah, one of them's like a 170. The other one's a 135er.
They literally look the same to me.
Oh, I was thinking their names were very similar.
Everything. No, I don't know. They're just all the same.
I didn't think they look the same. That's super racist.
Oh, that's my bad. That's
I
got carried away.
I just thought they had very similar names. Spelling.
I just got carried away. So. I remember him in my head being much better than when I watched the old film. Because he beat that Cortavius Romanis, who has the worst grappling ever. Super freak athlete, obviously got a crazy motor, but just the worst grappling of all time. And he was having a lot of success against this Chang Ho Lee. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
I like Cuamba here by a lot. I think Cuamba's striking is really good. He's very fast, makes really good reads. His counter grappling is very good. And so many times Chang Ho shoots from so far away, ends up on his back and has to re-wrestle to get up. I think that Cuamba is just too composed. He's not going to run out of cardio. I like Cuamba here.
I'm on the other side of this fence. Cuamba is shit. I'm going to get Mitch Raposo'd here.
You're going to get Raposo. He's going to put on a performance.
But so Cuamba's going down from 45 to 35 for this fight. And generally that's not good. Instead of just getting better, people are always changing weight classes. And I don't think that's going to help him here because
in fairness, he was very small fighting at 55 too. Very small.
What, 45?
Well, he fought short notice.
Yeah. I know at 55 he was small, and then he dropped to 45 though.
He's going to be
but
crazy
at 45,
big,
I don't think he was like hugely undersized. I think he just was underskilled. And the issue with Cuamba is, you said he does a lot of stuff well. Like he punches well. He has a really fast right kick, good speed. The issue with him is he doesn't hurt people. He's peppering these little pillow punches, and Lee is a monster in the cardio pressure department, swinging and going. So I don't think he's going to have any worries going in and finding his way into the pocket and doing what he wants. But he does wrestle, but he will also swing for the fences. And Lee has cardio for days. Like that, he's one of those guys who's like, let's go.
Yeah, they say he's the Korean
Let's go
Morocco.
drown. Yeah, let's go drown ourselves and go. And the issue with Cuamba is I've never seen him try to win a fight. I've seen him try to not lose fights.
He's one of those guys that's amazingly technical and phenomenal in the gym.
100%. And I think he's going to do a lot of good stuff. And I think he'll probably we'll see the final bell in this. He just doesn't. It's almost who's the kid? Is it Blake Builder?
I don't think that's right though.
But I think Blake is very good. I think he's a very good fighter. I think on a skill level,
he looks the part. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he does stuff well. And then he just lets fights go away from him because he's waiting for these moments to happen while somebody else is just blitzing him. I think Lee is just going to pressure him and swing and pressure and swing for 15 minutes. And the amount of, he's like a little mini Steve Garcia at 135. And I think Cuamba is out of the UFC after this.
I mean, he just knocked out Rolando Romero. I mean, that was a good. Honestly, I thought Romero was a good striker, really good striker. It was a very good fight.
He is.
And so he's starting to swing with a little more. And being 5'9" at 135 is going to be he's big.
Yeah, I think he'll be big, but I think that cut's gonna hurt his cardio, and Lee is not gonna take kindly to somebody getting tired in front of him.
That's a very good point. Yeah, as this fight goes later, I think Cuamba's just too sharp off the rip, though.
So really, it's got to be Cuamba round 1 knockout, which we've never seen.
No, I think he can win 8 minutes of this fight, 9 minutes of this fight. I think he can.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, next up, main event of the prelims, we have Kevin Christian at plus 210 versus Billy Elekana at minus 250.
I think last time we saw Billy, I was pretty critical of him, but I think he is leagues above Kevin Christian.
That guy has to be one of the worst on the roster.
It's unbelievable.
6'7", which already is weirdly a disadvantage. He's too big for most things.
If he was 6'7" at heavyweight, okay, that means he's thick. But is this at middleweight or no? It's at 205. Even 205, he looks so skinny and frail. But
doesn't move.
His striking is slow and lumbered and labored. And honestly, he can't defend a takedown to save his life. I mean, he got that submission off of his back in the 3rd round, but that was
Billy's a good grappler. But
the other thing is Billy is actually adept at fighting. Like he's a southpaw. He'll throw that low kick. He moves well. I don't think Billy's a world beater by any means, but I think he's easily going to dismantle Kevin Christensen. And I think Christensen is long, so I think he's going to take a little while to develop. So I don't think it's going to be a round 1 type of thing. I think he's going to end up getting the finish in round 2 or 3 after Christensen tires out a little bit, and he's easier to get on the inside, starts faking shots and coming over the top or whatever. But Elekana does stuff well, and he has a beautiful amateur resume. I mean, he has some. Really
something we always talked about. Billy and us all go way back because he was the biggest single bet I've ever put down. He just, in his old days, the 205 move is a lot better for him because when he was making 185, he was too big. That's a guy who couldn't make the cut.
We've talked about that. I mean, with Camuela, that's where you went up to 55 instead of 45. You couldn't eat for 3 months before a fight. And then you just had nothing by fight time. And just some people think the weight class is the issue. And man, I'm all for going up in weight and improving skills instead of going down in weight and not
trying to beat the bull. Yeah, because it's a thin rope, that whole thing. You really have to kind of be lucky in general. Like if you're too big, too small, those both suck. But if you get lucky and be that right in between is amazing.
Oh, I've never lost a fight because I was too small. I mean,
just too white. That's it.
Yeah, always. Or, I mean, it's just, actually, one of the worst performances, probably the worst pro performance I had was the one time I cut down to 145. I only fought at 145 once. Everything else was at 155. Or even I fought at like 65, like catchweight.
That's kind of crazy because you look like a 45, like you would.
Yeah, I mean that's these days. Like the paradigm has shifted size wise. But even so, like I was fighting people at 55 who were coming down from 170. When I fought Melvin, he had fought at 170 before that.
Frankie Edgar back in the day was amazing.
Yeah, I've never felt like size was why I lost. Like
you hear that,
cardio,
ladies?
Yeah, cardio or technique.
I got cardio forever,
but yeah. So anyway,
and technique.
I think we're both on Billy here.
Yeah, we like Billy.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the main card, we have Allan Nascimento at -125 versus Cody Durden at +100.
I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Wow, that line is short.
Sorry, what was it?
Nascimento is -125 and Durden is +100.
Oh, it wasn't. That was pretty wide before.
It was a lot wider before, and I was like, "Wow, that's a good line for Durden." I think I like Durden in this fight. I know he's short notice. I know he's taking a lot of damage. He's fighting top of the division. He's staying active all the time. And in the last fight, right? So Nascimento fought Filo, however you say his name. He got takedowns like at will. It was as easy as possible. And where he kept screwing up was because he tried to over jiu-jitsu it. He kept getting too high up on the back. He would take the back beautifully. Nascimento looked, in my opinion, he looked awful in that fight, just with his takedown defense, and even his physicality looked pretty bad to me. I think if Durden takes him down and just holds his hips and just punches, this is going to be a great fight for him. I think on the feet, he's got a lot more aggression. He's down to swing with guys. If Durden is in shape, and that is the number one thing, if he is in shape, because it's short notice, I think he can really bully and hurt Nascimento. I think he's got well enough versed in jiu-jitsu to defend a lot of the submissions. What I worry about is the sweeps, because Nascimento is so good at sweeping, coming up to the top and then back taking. That's number one. But I mean, Durden has grappled with everybody. I think he's the man. I'm going to probably pass, but my opinion is Durden or pass.
See, I like Nascimento here, and I went back and forth on this quite a bit.
And me too, because the same
what
thing.
You're saying all makes sense, because Durden, we've already seen the Nascimento or Durden fight play out pretty much with a Jake Hadley Durden fight.
Yeah.
Like,
I would give Hadley a bigger advantage on the feet too. The more danger with the boxing.
Yes, but Nascimento does the right stuff standing, has the high guard, uses his teeps. I think Hadley is definitely more dangerous and a better striker, but Nascimento is not bad. And I think if him and Durden were in a kickboxing match, I would probably give that to Nascimento actually. In MMA gloves, little just swinging and going, because Durden is just blitz full power and going. But I think on a technical level, I think Nascimento is probably the more technical striker. But again, with 4-ounce gloves on, it doesn't matter so much.
And that's the thing, is that he'll cover and just kind of eat shots sometimes, Nascimento.
Here's my issue with Durden is he can't just calm the fuck down.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
So like he is going 100% for 5 minutes when he could be on top chilling and doing nothing and winning. And he's like, nope, I'm going to keep burning energy. And he fights well. He does a lot, but then he overfights and finds himself in trouble. And you have said it before, where Durden will wrestle so much where he will tire himself out. And I think that Durden's going to look really good in round one. It's short notice. And even if it wasn't short notice, Durden over wrestles so much.
That's the thing. I don't know if the short notice even makes a difference.
Yeah, that a guy like, I don't think it helps. Like, it definitely doesn't help. But
only a negative, not a positive, but probably a neutral fact. And to be honest, I think Cody lives the life. I think he's not in bad shape.
Yeah, no, I think you're all right. But then he's also taken a lot of damage lately, and he's been beat up a lot lately.
I was just gonna say he's the Rombeski of 125.
Yes, and so then now I'm wondering. So the smart thing to do would be a smart fighter and touch Nascimento up, score takedowns, do as little as possible, and get a win. But he can't do that. And so I almost think he's going to probably come out the opposite way, just looking for a finish. And then I think he ends up tiring himself out even more. And like you said, can Nascimento get the sweep on Durden?
Yes.
I think probably. I think he has better bottom jiu-jitsu than Hadley. Hadley does a beautiful job of throwing that omoplata in and using that.
He uses subs to get it.
Yes, he really does. Hadley does a really good job with that. But I think Nascimento is a better pure grappler than Hadley.
He's sweeping to gear. He's got to be.
Yeah. So I think I think Durden looks good round 1, and I think in round 2 or 3 he ends up getting caught in a choke, whether it's a guillotine or a rear naked from shooting and being tired. And Nascimento.
I think if Durden loses, it's gonna go downhill really quickly, where he gets on bottom and then Nascimento. Because I will say I'm very critical of Nascimento. He's not my favorite with the inactivity. I think he's too big for the weight, like we just talked about. Yep. He misses all the time. He's gassy, all that stuff. But when he's on top,
he's a force.
He's something.
Yep.
Yeah, he's something.
All right, next up, we have Charles Radtke at -158 versus Daniel Frunza plus 138.
This one is going to be insane, and this one is as simple as this. I think this is – I'm not going to touch this. Honestly, I think it's Frunza or pass because Radtke has durability issues. He's by far the more technical, better, more complete, all-around MMA fighter. He feints. He gets high guard. He moves his head. He does a lot of things. Check left hook, which is what actually hurt Frunza in the Ruiz McKee fight. He does everything better than Frunza. And Frunza is sometimes, I think, more game, and he really likes to swing hard. And I think Radtke gets hurt a lot, and a lot more these days, too. He's got some durability issues. So skills-wise, I don't think it's close. I think it's Radtke times a million. But he's going to get into this stupid firefight in the middle of the cage, and I don't know who's coming out on top. Frunza seems like a tough guy. And when Radtke's going out, he's just out. Frunza's at least like trying to like recover and fight back and everything like that. I don't know. This is a complete pass to me. Fight ends KO is probably the move.
I mean, he lost to Mike Malott, which he was dead there in Carlos Prates. He's got some Matthew Semmelsberger. Semmelsberger is one of those guys who's so good and tough, and he just couldn't win some fights and some moments.
Stick around,
I mean? Just like he's one of those guys where you're like, man,
every fight was on the doorstep.
Yeah, and he was like him in the gym. Is a handful. If he ever ended up being a coach, he'd be probably a good coach. If mentally, you see how his skill wise, who knows how he coaches? I don't know it all, but I always love watching Semmelsberger, man.
Let's pour one out for Semmelsberger.
Let's do it. So I am Chuck Buffalo to me is big Mitch Raposo. Like they're the same person.
I could actually see that a lot. Yeah.
Right? Like they do a lot of the good stuff and all of the right stuff, but then they just kind of forget to fight a lot and then just don't.
That's kind of what I mean. I'm like, he checks every box. He does all the stuff right.
But who the hell? What's his name? Frunza. I think Frunza looks really good right off the bat. And his punches are straight. They look fierce. He is solid. And then you almost see him in like 2 minutes in, just getting clipped by Ruiz. And it wasn't, I don't believe it was a check left hook. I thought it was in an exchange. I thought they both were firing at the same time. And I think Ruiz actually threw a 1-2. And then instead of finding his way out, he sent the 3.
Yeah, sorry, it was just a hook. I didn't mean check, just a hook.
It was in the combination. And the reason I say that is Frunza looked really good when he's throwing a jab or a jab cross or even a cross. It's clean. The second he starts actually fighting and throwing, his hands go lower and his chin is up in the pocket. Man, look at Radtke's last few fights. Look at his Semmelsberger fight. 1-2, tight hook over the top, finish it.
It's that left hook is a big deal.
It's a left hook. Radtke can wrestle. Frunza cannot. We've seen him just get put on his back in the Contender Series and die until the other opponent just got sleepy and then he came on.
I remember. I had a bet on that guy.
Yeah, I mean, and so Radtke has good cardio. He mixes his wrestling well. You said it. He checks all of the boxes, but both of them have been knocked out. So, like, all things considered, I think you've got
the better fighter
all
at a pretty
these
good
boxes
number.
Checked over here, except for the chin box. And then you have a few boxes checked over here, and the chin box isn't checked either. So I think skill for skill, match them up and go. I'm like, give me Radtke all day here.
I just wish Radtke would take the path of least resistance because honestly, I think he's a very good jiu-jitsu guy. His grappling is good.
I wish Camuela had taken the path of least resistance.
Yeah, you asshole, dude. We wouldn't be sitting here.
But his huevos were too big for his record.
That was according to the doctor, right?
Yeah. No, that was the birth doctor. It actually said on his birth certificate.
Largest nuts ever at this hospital.
Tiny penis, massive,
massive balls.
They actually have one of those plaques with his little baby balls.
It's like they have his handprint, his footprint, his sack.
It's hung up on the wall. It's on the Hall of Fame.
So I have never said this since we've actually, I think I called him to beat Methetha, the lisp. But other than that, man, I'm pretty critical of Radtke, and I think he's going to get it done here.
Do you think he drops an F slur?
I hope he drops all the slurs.
What is your favorite slur to least favorite slur in order, ranked 1 through 10?
I'll have to go through that.
Think about it.
Yeah,
at the end of the show, we'll get we'll get your top 10.
All right, next up we have Isaac Dulgarian at -265 versus Yadier Del Valle at +225.
I need a few slurs for Armenians and Cubans.
I know. I need a few slurs for everyone. For you. All right, DeValle. I'm calling him Valley. We're in the Valley. He's Valley today. So
you're going to catch some heat for that one. And that does fit because we are in the Valley of the Sun.
And you guys have got to realize, like, I don't care about the names, and you can cry all you want. And I still,
they know, coach.
I'm not going to shed a tear.
They know.
So Valley says, he's Cuban. So you think, oh,
he's Cuban.
I don't know. That's a Cuban flag, right?
Holy shit.
Isn't that a Cuban flag? Yes, his nickname is the Cuban Problem. So I think, oh, this boy can wrestle.
Do you think there's anything that exists, the Cuban solution? I feel like Cubans are just always problems.
Yeah, I feel like we've had who was the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Julian Marquez.
Yeah, like why can't we have like a solution to the problem?
Can we get like a Cuban scientist?
Yeah.
Can we get some kind of solution?
Cubans over here. Like I don't.
All right, let's talk about the problem.
I don't want the problems.
Tell me his problem.
I want the solutions. So first of all, he's jacked. He's huge. He looks massive.
He's very handsome too.
Good looking fellow.
Oh yeah.
Swings for the fences. The thing I like about him is, so he's training in Houston now. I don't know how long he grew up in Cuba, how long he was there, if he wrestled there or whatnot. But I initially was thinking he's a wrestler because you have a Cuban flag. You're a wrestler to me. I don't care. You could be 6'8", female. I'm like, that's an Olympic male wrestler right there. But he throws hard punches. And
his boxing's gotten tidy over the years.
And I don't mean like look, a lot of people throw these haymakers and swing for the fences and go, but you see somebody that's like actually knows how to like stab their punches right at the end, and you just like, whoa, this dude is trying to hurt somebody. And he does it well, and he picks his shots, and he swings. I actually like I want to say it's not like he's the slickest striker there is, but what he does works, and it hurts people, and I really like it. The issue is he's going against Isaac Dulgarian. And what is he, a 3 or 4-time national champion? I think NAIA or D2, 3, something like that.
He's nasty.
He's just such a good wrestler. And
I honestly haven't seen, I would say this maybe outside of Gamrot, I haven't seen somebody who moves their body as well in wrestling exchanges as Dulgarian.
It's insane. And we saw him lose to C-Rod, and that was a close fight. That could have gone either way.
Hotly debated.
C-Round won easily. Anyway, but he learned from that. And we saw him in his last fight. I don't even think he threw a punch before he shot in and was like,
it was within 5 seconds. I'm trying to fast forward the video. I had to keep rewinding.
He knows what he's doing. His striking's not bad though. And I think with, we've been critical of the Factory X guys for a long time for various reasons. I think whatever split has happened and whatever's going on, their striking, I think they move too much to sit down and to do stuff. But what I think has happened is Yusuf Zalal, I mean, that kid has gotten really, really good. And I bet you it's because he's training with Dulgarian every day. And that's why his wrestling is probably where it is, which he's got Onama, who's on the card. He's got Dulgarian. He's got Yusuf. The three of them training and going at it all the time, I think is probably just such high level work. I think Dulgarian is going to easily be able to avoid the big punches, find his shot, and just completely ride out Valley and just exhaust him to death. And I think he'll end up finishing him probably in the 3rd round, TKO, or, back mount and pounds him out or finds a submission or something. But I think Dulgarian by finish in round 2 or 3.
Wow. That's a very hot take. That's very precise. I weirdly think this is going to be a very competitive fight. Actually, I think the Valley's
I think there's going to be really competitive moments.
Okay, I agree. Yes,
but
yes.
then I think overall, I think the pressure and the wrestling. What's going to happen is Valley is going to defend some stuff, but he's going to use a lot of energy to do it. And while he's expending all of this energy, Dulgarian's already sliding to something super efficient.
He's nasty. And he's, again, one of those few guys who his jiu-jitsu blends so well with his wrestling.
When he's on top, you see him controlling and floating instead of squeezing and burning his energy.
And he does a lot of
body triangles, comes up on top, laces it, really anchors the hips and beats on people.
For me, here's the biggest thing. Round 3 is concerning for me, I will say, because DeValley has shown, like in the last few fights, he does have a gear that he can push. Like he can pump those hands, like you said. He's powerful. He puts a lot of volume out there when he kind of has you cornered. So I think it's going to be very important for Dulgarian to never stop moving. And, we have seen him fall off that cliff before in the C-Rod fight. And that was scary.
But that C-Rod is a weird...
Because he's so calm and composed and good at getting up.
Peyton Talbot, Henry's fighting Talbot, and we're looking at the same thing as like, we don't need to be wasting energy when he's not. And I think Dulgarian was wasting energy when C-Rod wasn't. And I think that's what led to the situation. Yeah. But can you tell me that Valley's not going to get put on his back and go full explosive mode to try and get out?
Exactly, because he's what we talk about. I don't know if he actually got his brown belt now, but for the longest time, and when he was fighting in Fury, he was a purple belt. He is exemplary of purple belt jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go for this guillotine and I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can. And when that doesn't work, I'll give up my back or I'll do so-and-so. He's not very technical with it, where you have Dulgarian who I think
talking about belts and stuff, I think you put Dulgarian against most black belts anywhere near his weight and no gi. I think he's going to
smash them. And that's something we also talked about too, is the wrestling game never really developed for these guys. And I think DeValley is fine and he's strong. And there's going to be moments I probably worry about until Dulgarian eventually gets him down. And once it's on there, I think it's wraps.
Oh, that made me tired, man. You talk too much.
All right, I'll keep it short.
All right, moving on to the featured bout of the evening, we have Jeremiah Wells at plus 110 versus Themba Garimbo at minus 130.
I don't know what to think about this fight because
it's bizarre. Who's washed, who's not?
Well, who's crazier? Well, who's washed, but who's crazier and who has worse holes, and then who gets tired worse? Like, I don't even know. And Themba, we've seen correct some of his sleepiness with probably some good supplements. Now all of a sudden he would death gas after a minute. Now he's going rounds, with it. And honestly, the Brahimaz fight is aging actually well, because Ruiz he has been winning some fights and doing well and looking good. And Themba
out hustled him, cardio.
He did out hustle him, but the other thing that Ruiz did in that fight though is he kept trying to like suicide throw Themba and would end up on his back, and that killed him, like trying lat drops and throws and stuff like that. Wells isn't going to do that at all. He is just going to swing and then go. Themba's striking is not great, but it's getting better. His wrestling is not great, but it's getting better. He's getting better everywhere. He really is. But Jeremiah Wells is just a horse of a human. And then you look at Jeremiah's last couple of fights that are lost. It's 12-4. Carlston Harris, who he was just
dominating,
smashing, and then just got dead tired and got anaconda.
I don't even think he got tired. He just kind of got caught.
Yeah.
He just wrapped it up.
Yeah. And then the Max Griffin one is weird because Griffin is completely opposite style of Themba, who's running and moving and going. And that was just I think that was a weird fight for
He looked so off
Wells.
In that fight.
He looked
also
horribly off for whatever reason. For nothing more than I think we're going to see kind of a rekindled Jeremiah Wells of the Semmelsberger, the Harris, the, stuff like that. I think he's going to bum rush and find a way to win over Themba. I don't know. I kind of take that back because I think if he doesn't knock him out, I think he'll tire himself out, and I think Themba will out grapple him eventually.
I don't know about that.
I know.
Because Wells is a good grappler. No.
All right, I'm sticking with Wells.
You got to stick with Wells because
I'm sticking with Wells.
Wells, it's been weird. He's never shown cardio issues to a bad extent, really.
Yeah, but he went split decision with Semmelsberger. I mean, it's like these crazy, wild things. And I think if Themba doesn't get caught up in that, here's the issues. I think Wells is similar to what we said Cody Durden is, where he will tire himself out even when he doesn't need to. It's like there's so much. I think
you're being critical of him because he's so jacked and he fights so insane. I think that's the one narrative we always talk about is like, damn, I'm surprised he's not exhausted,
more tired,
falling off. I mean, he put together all those takedowns against Carlston Harris. We forget he's a Marquez guy, just like Sean Brady, just like Pfeiffer, all those boys. You think Themba wants to come wrestle with him? Themba's still shooting takedowns from across the cage. Yeah. He's just so massively more athletic than all these guys. He's able to cut corners. He's able to wait until they get tired and eventually get him down. But Jeremiah is a very good black belt. He's got a low center of gravity. He's got massive power. And if he's washed, then Themba's going to run through him. But if he's not washed and there's any semblance, Themba's punch resistance isn't great either. I mean, he got dropped by Luque on the first shot. And that's Luque, right? That's not Wells. I think Wells can hurt him on the feet. I think Wells can defend takedowns. And honestly, if Wells was smart, he's getting his own takedowns and going top time.
If Wells is smart, he gets a takedown, puts in his boots, and just pounds Themba to death.
That's it. Pounds him to death.
All right. There you have it, folks.
All right. That's the breakdown.
Dead.
All right. Moving on to the co-main, we have Waldo Cortes-Acosta at -102 versus Ante Delija at -118.
Yeah, I like I'll go on this one. I like Ante here. I think he's got very fast, very powerful hands. He looked incredibly sharp in that last fight. Waldo's good. He's like the most durable guy ever for the most part.
He does so little. Jab, move, baseball throw. Jab, move, baseball throw. And then he'll like shake a little bit and taunt you. And
salsa dance.
Back to the jab. Yep.
I like Ante here. I mean, I don't at a pretty much pick 'em line. The bigger power, sharper strikes. I think he's the truth. I think he can put Waldo on his back also if he needs to. But I like Ante here.
Waldo just fought Sergey Pavlovich, and it was closer than I think it needed to be because Sergey kind of waits. And he does that Russian thing where has the hand and he's waiting. He's trying to
small step forward, jab, counter. Yeah.
But anytime Sergey would throw 2 or 3 punches at combinations, Waldo would turn and reach, and he doesn't handle that well. Waldo has a really good jab, and he uses his range really well. He uses his distance phenomenally. Part of why it's so good is he's so heavy over his lead foot that he can touch you and then move away. He has a big swinging movement. And that's why he's also susceptible to those low kicks and the calf kicks. So
all his weight is there all the time.
Yeah. So it really is. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse for him the way that he uses that. But is it Ante or Anje? Ante. You said it. So he has good striking, good grappling defense and stuff. I don't know that's not going to really play here. The only thing that's going to play is if this fight is in the clinch, who can maintain the cage position on the clinch. But in terms of like actually like somebody going for a takedown in jiu-jitsu and getting back up, I don't think there's much at play there. Ante throws well. The thing that Ante is where I think he's going to do better. I think if he fights Sergey Pavlovich, I think he loses. But I think against Waldo, I think he's going to have more success because he is faster. He will go first, and he's not always waiting to try to counter, and he throws combinations. Like he will throw 2, 3, 4 punch combinations, push the pocket.
Lightning fast for a heavyweight.
Yeah, lightning fast. And yeah, I think Waldo is going to have a rough night. I think Ante wins that.
He's just kind of one guy that just takes so much. He's so tough, but he takes so much damage that's kind of like unnecessary. And it's for nothing more than lack of skill.
Yep.
Producer Kamuela here, and I just wanted to give everybody a heads up that this next part of the show is a little bit different than what you would normally expect from us on the pod. Brandon and I decided to publicly congratulate Coach on an incredibly successful career, and let's just say things get a little I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. Brandon had a full-on emotional breakdown. He was a wreck. The man could barely speak. There were awkward pauses. It was a little embarrassing, you know? It was like, dude, you're a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Out with it. Use your words. Enough with the tears already. But if you want to skip that whole thing, if the whole emotional thing isn't really for you, then click the timestamps below and you guys can just skip on ahead to the main event, which I would suggest you do. I would suggest you do. Otherwise, keep watching and enjoy the rest of the show.
All right. Now, before we move on to the main event, Coach, I wasn't here for last week's episode when you made your retirement announcement. So Brandon and I talked and we said, hey, you know what? Instead of doing comments, let's give Coach his flowers. So I'll say a few words, then Brandon, you could say a few words.
I don't need any of these words and flowers
before we get to the
make me blush.
Before we get on to the main event. But so first of all, congratulations. We've known each other for 12 years now. I was 19 when I met you, and I was talking to somebody about you retiring, and I said, it's cool because my coach got to watch me grow up from 19 to 31 now, and he's got to see me do a lot of things and has helped me do so much. But I said it's been really cool to watch him over the years grow up too and accomplish so much, and from when we did On the Ropes to Sage to Rebrain to Content Pigeon. I've seen you start businesses. I've seen you fight university.
Yeah.
Seen you start businesses. I've seen you buy businesses. I've seen you help amateurs turn pro, myself included. I've seen you help guys get into the UFC. I've seen you help turn guys into UFC double champs. And, it's been amazing. And for those of you who don't know, so my family opened up a gym. It's called Siege MMA, and it's completely family owned. And when my parents opened up the gym, my mom and dad both had average jobs. We didn't have a lot of big money investors behind us. My mom was a legal secretary. My dad was a police officer. And my parents did not make a dime from the gym, not a penny, for 13 years. And I would say right around the 10-year mark or so, my sister, who was working the front desk, received an email, and it was from a dude named Santino Tribute, and he was looking for an MMA coaching job. And my sister was this close to deleting the email because she knew, she was like, there's no way we're going to be able to afford another coach. We could barely take care of the coaches that we had. A lot of our coaches, even at the time, weren't getting paid, and they were doing it as a trade. They would coach classes for free training. So my sister was like, we couldn't take on another coach. But she said there was something that kept her from deleting the email, and she went and told my parents about this Santino guy. And my dad was like, let's bring him in and let's talk to him. So they did. My dad loved you right off the bat and said, hey, why don't you come down and coach the guys or whatever, and we'll see how it goes. And the first time you ever coached, you did some cage wrestling stuff with me. And like I said, I was 19 and I had never been ragdolled like that in my entire life ever. And I thought I was pretty good. I had won the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships twice. And I'd never gone with anybody remotely close to my size who did that to me. I feel like I just got ragdolled in the ocean, when you get taken out by a wave and you can't move and you're just waiting for the water to calm so you can find the surface. And I drove back home with my dad that night and I just sat there silently. And my dad was like, he's pretty good, huh? I was like, hey, he's really good, man. He's really good. And my dad was like, he told my mom, he's like, I don't know how we're going to be able to afford him, but we need him. And so we brought you on. It's the best investment that we ever made. And I'll never forget, man, we didn't even really have a fight team and you were my main training partner for years. And, I remember one Saturday morning, we didn't have anybody who showed up for sparring. And I was just thinking, I'll just get some bag work in or something. And all of a sudden I look over, man, you're putting on shin pads. And I'm like, Coach,
do you remember this Saturday?
I do.
I'm like, Coach, what are you doing? You're like, and you were pissed off. Well, nobody's here, so we're going to get some rounds in. I was like, Coach, no, you don't have to. Like, no, I do have to. Because you need to get work and somebody needs to push you. We went in, we did a couple rounds. I'll never forget that. And then you probably don't remember this, but I'll never forget it. I remember one time in the location that we were in before this one, we were in the lobby of the gym, and I had made a comment about one day if I fight in the UFC, and you cut me off and you said, when you fight in the UFC, you said, you're going to fight in the UFC. You're going to get there. And I remember I was confident in myself, but the UFC, it was something that I wanted to fight in since I was a kid. And it just seemed like this kind of like far off, like make-believe dreamland. And you spoke with such certainty. And it was just so reassuring. And I was like, I never want to let Coach down. He believes in me so much. And, man, you've helped myself. And, I
wish we had a camera on you. Take your time. That's all.
Go ahead, bro.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll take over afterwards.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
All right, wait, I'm good. I'm good. Coach, you've helped me live out my dream, man, and so many other people. And, you know, one of the things that motivated me most is I didn't want to let you down. And every single loss, the thing that I mean this, the thing that I was always most disappointed with is I thought I let you down. And you would never say that. And in the back, after losses, I'd be, hey, I'm sorry, Coach, I'm sorry. And you would dap me up. You know, you would hug me and say, man, I'm so proud of you. And you did that after my losses and after my wins. It was always the same. And, you know, for you, man, it was never about the wins and the losses. It was always about just helping me be my best. You know, all the calls. Sorry, man. All the non MMA related calls, man. Just about life. Just want to make sure I'm good in life, you know. Just everything, man. You're my coach, but you know, in many areas, you're a father figure, like an older brother, best friend. And dude, I'm sorry, man. I can never repay you for everything you've done for me. So
You already have.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, man. And
Give him a hug, man. Come on, camera, give him a hug, man. All right, you got everybody all steamed up now. He's not dying. We're gonna see him next week.
I got it.
Oh.
Oh man, I'm sorry to get all.
No, dude, I love this, man.
Man.
I don't think I've ever seen you like this. 10 years of friendship, I don't think I've seen you like this.
You want to know what's funny is I didn't even realize this was a thing until Kendall kind of told me. She's like, you know, just being over at Fight Ready and stuff. And she was like, well, is somebody going to throw a party for you? And I was like, a party? Like what? And I was like, it didn't even dawn on me that. And she's like, well, you're not quitting, you're retiring from the sport. And I was like, yeah, but I'm just not going to be here anymore. And she's like, it's a thing. And I was like, oh, I guess I didn't even think. I'm so just oblivious to things for myself that I didn't realize it was a bigger magnitude than it was, or than it is, of me leaving the sport. And
you don't realize it, and I think maybe not a lot of people will tell you that. And maybe Kamala, you could speak on this too, but I thought about this a lot of times when I was like very adamant, like I want to fight. This is what I want to do with my life. I thought about this many times. You didn't realize this, but every time you would tell me, I'm almost done with the sport, I'm on my way out, I'm going to do this and I'll be done coaching forever. Each time I went through a mini crisis and I said, I don't know if I'm going to fight if you're not coaching me. And every time you would tell me that, I would have to go home and be like, shit, what's my backup plan if you retire? Because I'm not going to do this anymore. And it's funny you talking about how you met Santino. I also had a funny story like that. And I was traveling around training jiu-jitsu with this guy, Joe Gomez. And Joe Gomez watches the show. I love Joe. He's our guy. And I was on a different team at the time. And I guess this is the impact you don't really understand. I was telling this story yesterday. And I was competing with Joe. Joe says, hey, come train MMA with me. There's this MMA coach here. His name is Santino. He's okay. So I come and I train, and similar story. You beat the shit out of me. Johnny Mack, all these other people just beat my ass. And I came to you as an 18-year-old with the biggest ego in the world. Nothing's changed except for my age. And I got humbled so badly that day. And then I was like, all right, well, this is what I want to do from now on. And I don't know if you remember, I got my purple belt and I called you crying. And I was like, I don't want this. I want it from you only. I hate this. And just over the years, I mean, I've watched your kids and, you know, us three, we kind of all came into this together and, you know, we're on the tail ends all together, but I can't tell you how much every decision I've made in life, you've kind of guided me towards. When I bought my house, when I've done anything, I've always called you for every major decision ever in my life. And then, you know, starting this podcast with you was awesome. And without hesitation, you were like, yes, anything we need, like you're our father figure when we don't have fathers. And I
have a father. I'd have a father. I don't want my dad to watch this and be like, yo, I have a father. I think what it is, Coach, is I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for dude, it's I think that's some of our greatest memories, man, in life, and you truly helping us to accomplish our dreams and get our black belts and turn pro and get into UFC and all those things, man. Some of our greatest memories in life that we will have for the rest of our lives involve you, and would not have been possible without you. And I think that's why that's why it hits so deeply. But we're happy for you, and these aren't like, we're not sad. We're happy for you. We're appreciative.
No, I know.
I think what you said a second ago too, man, that I think that's the bigger thing, is the things that obviously you giving me my black belt. You've only given out 2 black belts. That to me is like, it's the memory that I'll always remember. But I think what you said, it's the things that are away from MMA that mean the most to, I think, any of us. This has been probably my toughest year I've ever had. And when I needed people, it was always you two that were always there for me also. So I'm so happy to see you move on to everything you've always wanted to do. It's amazing. And what an awesome career. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, at least a part of, small part, but congratulations on everything you've done. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. That was more than I was expecting. I think everyone gets uncomfortable in these situations where you're like, let me just,
Yeah.
But no, it was a fun career. And I don't.
Do you have like a moment like that sticks out above any other moment in your career?
Yes. And it was going to the gym and telling Gabe that he was fighting in the UFC.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we have a video of that.
Yeah, we have a video.
We'll have to find that.
The manager called you first.
I don't know. Like, I don't even remember the details, but I remember going to the gym when we got the call. I don't even remember the details of the call. I actually remember walking up to the gym and seeing him, and we just gave each other a hug. And I don't remember if like he knew or if I told him or what the details were. But
we both knew it was the first time that we had seen each other, because we both got the call. And that's the other thing too. I made my debut. You had a vacation scheduled. He was in Hawaii. He left Hawaii in the middle of his vacation. He came out, he cornered me, and then you left that night?
And then, I left that night and flew back to Hawaii to finish my vacation.
I can't even remember. I remember that now. Yeah. That's so funny. We were all there for it, and you won, dude. That was like the best day ever. It was the best day.
One of the, you want to know what's funny is the thing that I remember the most are not the fights and the wins and the losses, like stuff like that. Like, it's the little things, like punching a wall in Iowa, like the random dumb watching Key and Peele in like the middle of
the marathon
nowhere, having somebody, like, we're sleeping in Ensenada, Mexico, and we didn't have air conditioning, and we had to sleep with the windows open, and it was like we were at like this like Hooker John motel is where they put us up at. It was like weird, and there's like 3 of us in a bed, and all of a sudden somebody comes in the room in the middle of the night.
The promoter.
Was that the promoter?
It was the promoter.
Yeah, and so then I don't know who this guy is, and he grabs my big toe and just like wiggles it, and he's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And it's just stuff like
potholes.
that.
That was the potholes.
Right, yeah. So like I remember these like little moments. It's almost like the fights when I was walking out to fight. Like I remember the like the people and what I ate and the experience over the fight. The fight was just like something that you did, but it was like the moments and who you're with and the weird shit and stuff like that. So yeah, the fighting wise, I remember telling you, and then I remember, so there's a couple moments, and then actually you won your debut against Makwan, and I actually remember thinking, I'm good. I did what I needed to do, like in this sport. Because I actually had an opportunity to buy, or not to buy, to take a really nice job, and I didn't do it. And the reason I didn't do it, it was before you and Tracy had gotten to the UFC, and I didn't take the job because I said I have to see Gabe and Tracy to the UFC, and then I'm good. But then I was like, no, I need to see them into a win. And then now I'm like, after that Makwan win, I was like,
the flag kept moving each time.
I'm good. Like now, whatever happens, happens. But that one. I do remember Tracy's contender weight cut. That was the most intense, insane thing ever. You and Tracy I watched go from amateurs all the way up into the UFC and stuff. And so I do have a lot of moments and memories with both of you. And then honestly, just I don't know, random shit. It's getting a call, going to Saudi Arabia on a day notice with Corrales, and just a bunch of random shit. But The fights are almost, I don't even remember any of the fights. It's the memories with the people.
You're going to have to save these stories for us. And, you know, I don't know how long this podcast is going to go on. It doesn't go on. Who knows what the future holds, but I think it's good. Drop a nugget on us every once in a while when it comes.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny. It's, you know, we all live multiple lives, and this was one of my lives. One of my lives was as a fighter. The next one was as a coach.
Are you as excited for this next phase in your life as you were the previous ones?
Well, the previous ones I was never excited for. It was just what I did, and I was just involved in it. So, like, I never aspired to be a coach. I had a family, and that's where I could make the most money and do the most with. And I never liked coaching. I liked teaching. I hated coaching because there's so many moving parts. There's so much to organize. There's so much going on. There's so much pressure. And I take every fight as seriously as you guys do, because to me, every single one of your fights is the most important fight that there is. And I can't phone it in. So then I get anxiety. You know, it's just so much stress and pressure. And I just want to see you guys do well and perform well. Especially guys, you know, you have like Hunter Azure and Luke Sanders who had kids, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And you see this and you're like, man, they have families. They need this win and stuff like that. So it means a lot. So coaching to me was always very stressful. This next phase, I'm actually very excited about. Coaching is what I've always done. It's like, I know MMA, like Beethoven knew music, and it just makes sense to me.
It's crazy. And the whole time that I think we both have known you, you've never stopped learning. There's a lot of things I admire a lot about you, but from day one, and that's the one thing you always taught me too, is never stop learning. You are always doing new stuff, trying new things, messing, tinkering, developing, and it never stopped. I thought 5 years ago you'd run out of stuff to try, but it never stopped happening. And even now, what you told me, you're just constantly learning new stuff, learning about book writing, learning about editing, learning about this. And that, I think, is one of the most admirable traits, is you never stop learning.
Yeah, it's fun, you know, and now it's scarier and shit. The business it's a big business with, you know, massive debt that I'm going in on it. And there's a lot that
it's real deal now. It's
real. Yeah. I can't fuck this up. But it's fun. I'm actually really excited about it. Like, I can't wait. Honestly, like, I have Tracy and Henry's fight coming up, and I just am like counting down the days, not because I don't want to be there with Tracy or Henry. I want this new thing to start. I'm waiting to go to Disneyland, and I'm just pulling the numbers off
each day
the calendar. So,
all right, well, let's wrap it up. We don't really need to do the main event now. That was
after that was that was a lot. We should almost like cut this and edit it so the main event is first, so that if people want to listen, they can listen afterwards.
There'll be timestamps.
Yeah, timestamp it, you guys.
All right, moving on in the main event, we have Steve Garcia at -132 versus David Onama at +112.
I'll go. I like you to always end the show. I'm going to keep it simple. This is a highly volatile fight, obviously. Steve Garcia, I think his fighting ability far exceeds his technical ability. He loves to fight. I'm going to go Onama here. I think Onama is so much more dynamic. He's a lot sharper. He can wrestle. He can fight for top time. I think all of the measurable traits are going to be enough to beat Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia obviously has that danger, and he swings with all the venom he can. And he showed he can be composed last fight, but I think it's night and day with Qatar versus Onama. I like David Onama in this spot. What say you?
Yeah, first of all, these guys are both coming off really good wins. Calvin Kattar and then Giga Chikadze. Like, those are both impressive wins. And I probably thought both of them were going to lose those fights just massive steps up in competition. Garcia looks really good in that Kattar fight.
Really good. Better than we thought he would perform.
Yeah, and he generally like goes in, balls out, blitzes, and we were thinking that he was going to fall into shit and whatever. And he was measured and controlled and on the outside and long and really did all of the right stuff. Yeah, Garcia looked good there. He has good long-range punches. He has great volume and cardio and pressure. And you said he fights well above his technical abilities. The issue with Garcia is that he makes a lot of mistakes as well. And he will, just look what 2 fights ago in the Melky fight, where he was just out wrestled and grappled and controlled.
He regularly loses that first round.
Yes. And Melky, I mean, even I think Shailan Nurembeki or whatever it was, he lost.
Same script every fight. He gets taken down, dominated for one round, gets up, hurts them.
Melky death gas trying to like hold him down and do stuff. And then we saw it in the Nurembeki fight as well. Whereas Onama is not like that. He's not wild. He's very measured. He's controlled. He doesn't panic. The other thing that this might sound stupid, but watching him fight Giga and with his rear leg checking all of the middle kicks, that's high level. And it's not high level in kickboxing. It's standard in kickboxing. But what it is with Onama, that wasn't something that he probably did a lot of. And then so he had to learn that. And he probably learned it for that.
You're saying he adapts and grows at a rapid pace.
And he's looking better and better. And we saw him even with the Jonathan Pierce fight, losing in moments, but staying calm. He's athletic enough. He turns. He actually, watching him, he lets people take his back in that way. And he switches his hips and then pulls the body around.
You got that tiny
separately.
African waist.
Yeah. And with the athleticism and the technique and everything, I've got to go David Onama over 5 rounds, only because I think Garcia will find more ways to lose and make more mistakes. And I think Onama just doesn't make as many mistakes and is a little bit more athletic and probably a little bit more measured in his approach.
The shell of Calvin Kattar was hard to judge against, honestly, though.
It was. So I like Onama here, probably by decision. And that's a pod, guys.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. It's been another week of MMA breakdowns and bets. You ready? Should we load them up?
Do it.